overlooked by the world, but not by the Most High. Where we at on time right now? All right. All right, doing good today? All right. All right, we're going to round this up. Go with me to Genesis 29th chapter. Because I just want to continue to encourage our women that you may have been overlooked by the world, but not by the Most High. And I want to end this lesson out today, Genesis 29, with a lady in our history as the nation of Israel, which means so much to where we are today. And that is Leah. Now, Leah, for anybody who has heard the story of Jacob and Rachel, Leah is the one we're going to talk about in a second, who was overlooked. And a lot of times when people, I've heard, Mother's Day messages, women's conference messages, they like to focus on Rachel. And I really say that's a travesty when you really think about it, because if you really get into the dissect Rachel and Leah, Rachel was foul. And the only thing Rachel really had going on for her is she was fine. She was stupid fine. The Bible says she was very beautiful. But Leah, you're going to find out today, was more of a blessing to the nation of Israel and to the so-called black man, to the so-called African-American man, to the entire world, that you never would imagine. And I'm going to give you ladies Leah today, because some of you out there right now who have children, who are involved with somebody, and you don't even realize the kid that you have in your house. And the only thing you can focus on is the father of that child who did you wrong. The only thing you can focus on is all the bills and the troubles and the heartache that you have raising this child. And you have no idea the purpose that is on that child's life. And I think if you begin to shift from the pain of the situation to the purpose and the destiny of a situation, it's going to cause you to understand that you were chosen by the Most High. So we're going to give you this Leah. We're going to break down Leah's life. We're going to show some things in there. But I want you to stay with me, because I can feel by the Spirit of the Lord that there's many Leahs that's watching us right here, right now. And what's going to happen is, if you receive what the Most High is saying here, you're going to understand, yeah, you might have been overlooked by the world, but not by the Most High. All right, so go with me. Genesis 29. Jay, read for them verse 15 through 18.
And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldst thou serve me for? No, tell me, what shall thy wage be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the eldest was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
Now, so you can fully understand what's going on here. When you go back into Genesis 27, 28, you will see that there was some beef going on between Jacob and Esau. We're going to get to those lessons in the week to come. Very, very important lesson, right? So Jacob, under the direction of his mother, Rebekah, was told to go back to her homeland where her people was. Laban is Rebekah's brother, right? So when he goes there, he begins to serve him. He begins to do the things and work in his different businesses. And Laban's business begins to prosper because Jacob has the blessing of the Lord on him. Then Jacob comes and says, listen, man, you're my relative, man. You're the brethren. You're the family. I'm not going to have you here as a servant. Tell me what you want me to give you for the work that you're doing. And he says, listen, man, I want your daughter. I want Rachel. That's who I want to marry. He said, all right, serve me 7 years, and you can have it. Now, ladies, I understand, and I need you to understand that we understand this as the brethren, that love doesn't mean anything unless it's returned. And I know many of you have spent your whole lives giving out love to people, pouring out your love to people. And many of you receive very little of it back. You took care of your siblings. You took care of your cousins. You took care of your mother. You took care of your sick father. You got up. You met this guy. You ended up having to take care of him. And you've been taking care of your children. And you're doing all this taking care and pouring your love out all the time, constantly, giving everything in you. And many of you have got a small amount of it returned to you. Many of you used to be so outgoing and had this real bright personality, real outspoken. But now, because of all these things that has happened, you're completely different now. Many of you see your phone ring, you get a text message, you don't even bother to return it no more. You should speak to everybody in passing, you don't even have nothing to say no more. You used to be the jolly person on your job, now you don't even talk to people because all the things that have happened to you. You used to always be excited about date nights and excited about the special times with your man, but now because he's taking advantage of you and you don't even how to get them holler no more, you don't even have any expectation no more. And many of you tomorrow have no expectation for it to be celebrated by your children or by your husband. And it's really changing the way that you is. It's really making you go into a place of a mindset where a perspective where you don't even, you're not even the same person anymore. And some of the people who knew you for a long time, they tell you that, but because your changes were not malicious and it was not something intent, it's not because you became a bad person, it's just because you began to build up a wall around your heart to protect yourself, then you don't even know what to do. Because you didn't say, I'm going to be mean to people and shut down to people. You're just trying to protect yourself. So you don't even know how to change it. You don't even know what to do. Because you didn't see yourself getting to this place. Because that's not what you signed up for. But you were just playing the cards that you were dealt. It's really tough for you to believe that the Most High will never leave you or never forsake you. It's really tough for many of you women to accept that fact because every man who told you that he did the exact opposite of it. Many of the friends who told you that, they did the exact opposite. So it's hard for you to accept that the Most High is going to be there for you. It's hard to accept and believe that the Most High is going to send the King to be there for you. It's hard to accept the fact that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. But as I said before, you may have been overlooked by the world, but not by the Most High. So now, here in Genesis 29, when we go in verse 19 and 20, it says, read 19 and 20 for him.
And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had for her. So Jacob was so excited about one day getting Rachel that he served her for 7 years. Those 7 years seemed like it went by. 7 years ain't no short amount of time. But because his love was so great for Rachel, that it seemed like it was nothing. Verse 22, verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, and I may go unto her.
Verse 22.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
Now, this was the okie doke pulled by Laban. Remember, we're focusing on Leah right here now, okay? So we're not going to get into what Laban done. We're going to focus on Leah because Leah is who we're talking to right now. So all the Leahs who are out there that are looking at us today, we're focusing on you. So you're Leah. And this is the okie doke. Your father comes in and says, no, we're not going to give Rachel. I want you to go in there and lay in there because you got to understand, this is in the time when people have a bunch of lights and lanterns. Okay? So basically, he got Jacob drunk, pulled up with him all day, turned up all day and celebrating other marriage, and then told Leah to go in there and lay in there. So by the time Jacob comes in drunk, You got to understand, once again, you have to understand the time frame of the day. Jacob is not a man that's out here having sex with any and everybody. This is his first time. Even though he's an older man, it's his first time. People didn't do that back in the day. So he's not coming in as a professional here. He's coming in, working his way around like everybody did their first time. And he doesn't even realize that he's not in there with Rachel. He's in there with Leah. And Leah has allowed her dad to put her in this compromising situation. So my 4 point today for you is that those with a misguided with a misguided drive will find their lives going in reverse. When you have a misguided drive, you will find your life going in reverse. What do I mean by that? Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Verse 6 says, acknowledge him, which means the Most High, in all thy ways, and he will direct your path. You see, well, ladies, you're supposed to be living a directed life, directed by the Holy Spirit, not a driven life. And when a driven life means that you're being drove by your desires. You're being drove by the flesh. You're being drove by your hopes and your dreams. Versus allowing the Most High to guide you to each one of those places. Leah wanted to be married, just like many of you. Leah wanted to be celebrated, just like many of you. Leah wanted to have all the attention and people to focus on her for a change, just like some of you. So she allowed her father to talk her into this, to go in to this situation, when knowing the next day everything was going to be different. So those who have a misguided drive, you will find your life going in reverse. And some of you women are doing things, and it's really celebratory for the day. It looks like it's working out really for the day, and it seems like you have made some advancement. But in essence, what happens is, because you had a misguided drive, it didn't take you farther. It ended up bringing you back farther, back behind than you were in the first place. It's like the old saying, I took 2 steps forward and took 3 steps back. And when you make a decision to go outside of the Most High and do things your way to get what you want versus to trust in the Most High and get it in his timing, you'll find your life going in reverse. I know life has taught you that in order to be successful, you need to do whatever it takes. But what I need you to know is that unless the Most High give it to you, unless the Most High push you in that position, unless the Most High opens that door, it's not going to last. Some of you are compromising your beliefs to get advancements on your job. It's not going to last. Some of you are compromising your beliefs to have a boyfriend. It's not going to last. Some of you are compromising to have somebody there with you on the times when you're lonely. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. So unless the Most High opens that door for you, eventually that door will be closed. So what I need you to understand is, don't allow somebody to put you in a situation because they're saying they're doing it for you, when in essence they're doing it for themselves. See, Laban wasn't worried about Leah finding love. He was worried about getting that burden off him so he didn't have to take care of no more. And some of you are being pushed off quickly because somebody got another agenda that they want to do. They want to hook you up. Really, all it is a hookup for themselves. So ladies, I want you to be patient. And even though you may have been overlooked by the world, you may have been overlooked by the man that you thought you wanted, you're not being overlooked by the Most High. All right, give me verse 24 and 25.
And Laban gave